Hey everybody, it's Zubair, aka the Zoob. I posted this image to Reddit, the Cinema 4D subreddit. I used Sketch and Toon to make it, and a couple of people asked me how I did it, so I just wanted to do a quick tutorial showing you how I achieved that. And I did it right here. It's kind of this 3D cartoony looking text. So let's get right into it. Let's start a new file. And to get that bubbly shape, I'm using my free plugin. It's called Dope Text. You can download it on the website. I'll provide a link in the description. So I open that up, go back to my Objects Manager, then go to the Dope Text tab over here, and then change the text. And we'll call it Reddit. So that updates. And now we want to change a couple of settings here to make it look bubbly. First of all, I want to change the font. I'm going to pick something like, let's see here. Actually, this is fine for now. So what I'm going to do is turn off constrain, and then scroll down, and right here turn on Bubblify. What that does, it makes this text kind of balloony looking. So we like that, and I can change the size of it a little bit to change the shape. I'm going to just increase the fillet size here a little bit, and then I'm going to decrease the horizontal spacing just a little bit. Having a little bit of trouble here, so that's fine. So let's get started with our Sketch and Toon settings. Let's go in here, go down to Effect, and Sketch and Toon right here. That adds a little material over here and gives you some settings over here. Now right off the bat, first thing we're going to do, go to lines and go over here and clear that. Now what that does is it applies the edge to everything, and we only want it to apply to one object. So that's why we're going to delete the default visible, and then the next thing we're going to do is apply this material to the object. And that added this little tag over here, and we'll get to that in a minute. You can close out of that. The next thing you're going to do is add another material, create another material. You can double click in here, and then open it up, turn off the reflectance and color channels, turn on the luminance channel, and then change the color to something you want. I'm going to pick this kind of aquamarine green over here. And then go into the texture tab, or the texture drop down over here, go down to Sketch and Toon and select Cell. Now this will add this kind of weird looking circle thing over here, and we'll change that in a second, but I'm going to configure my viewport over here so you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So first thing you need to do is add a interactive render region. And right now it doesn't look all that great, and we're going to change that. So just going to size this up, crank up the quality, and I'm going to apply this material to this object. So now we've applied both this and that. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is go into the cell texture over here and change these colors a little bit. Change this to kind of like a medium gray. Then pull this over, change that to like a lighter kind of almost white gray, and then a complete white. And we'll adjust these a little bit. The other thing you want to do is set this, turn off the camera and set the lights to on, because you want the shading to apply with lighting. Right now it still doesn't look all that great. And to change that, what we can do is add a light. So I'm just going to add an infinite light over here. And then click on it and just rotate it a little bit. So let's go, whoops, let's go down, let's say 20 degrees, and then rotate a little bit. And this is just aesthetic. You can play around with this. Different values will give you different looks. It's looking okay. We can always tweak that a little bit. So the next thing we want to do is, I forgot one crucial step over here. Go back into the material and set this to multiply so you can actually see your color. There you go. So now you see that green color. So let's work on our sketch material over here. We'll double click that, go into it. First thing we're going to do is go into strokes, hit enable, and increase this to 180. And you see right off the bat it's smoothed out the edges a little bit. It's still not that great looking. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. Next thing we're going to do is change the color a little bit. I'm just going to pick like a darker kind of bluish green. Go down to thickness, and I'm going to crank this up. You see how you get that kind of thick stroke. And then this is where this is the next step. Go into render, and this clip render right here. Go to outside geometry. And what that does is it only shows you the stroke outside the shape. And that's what we want. So we got that. Now it's still kind of looking thick and two-dimensional. To get it that 3D kind of look, go into adjustment. And then these screen offset values, you need to change those. You see how that's moving right? And it's going to do the same over here. And then this moves it down in the Y direction. And now you see how these highlights are kind of jaggy. I'm going to change that in the anti-aliasing settings over here. Change it to best. Set it to something like 2:4. That's looking great. I'm going to change the background over here. Go back into the Sketch and Toon shading. And you can set it to either a solid color or you can set it to a texture. And that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to set a gradient. Go into my gradient over here. Pick circular. And pick some nice colors over here. -11. Oh, there we go. I'm going to make this text a little bit thicker, and you can do that by clicking on the null object, going under the dope text tab, and increasing the depth to something like 24, 25. And that gives you kind of that thicker shadow at the bottom. That darker shaded area over here. And if you want to get rid of this kind of orangey glow when you click on an object, but you still want to see this, you can lock the attributes manager and then click off of it, and you'll still have your settings over here. So you can change your text size over here if you want. Make it a little bit bigger. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.